Welcome to Untold Pioneers, a channel that explores lesser-known stories and untold tales of historical figures, events, and cultural phenomena. Join us as we delve deep into the past to uncover the hidden gems of history. Today we will talk about the untold story of the indigenous peoples of the Americas. The Americas have a rich history that spans thousands of years, filled with diverse cultures, traditions, and beliefs. However, there is an untold story that the dominant narratives of colonization and conquest have overshadowed. This is the story of the indigenous peoples of the Americas, who have lived on this land for millennia and continue to thrive despite centuries of oppression and marginalization. From the Inuit of the Arctic to the Maya of Central America, the indigenous peoples of the Americas have a deep connection to the land, the animals, and the spirits that inhabit them. They have developed sophisticated agriculture, medicine, and governance systems that have sustained their communities for generations. They have created rich artistic and cultural expressions that reflect their unique identities and worldviews. Yet the arrival of Europeans in the Americas brought about a violent disruption of these ancient ways of life. Indigenous peoples were subjected to forced labor, enslavement, and genocide. Their lands were taken from them, their languages and traditions suppressed, and their cultures erased from the history books. Despite this, indigenous peoples have persisted and resisted. They have fought back against colonization and oppression, and have advocated for their rights and recognition as sovereign nations. They have worked tirelessly to preserve their languages, cultures, and traditions, and to pass them down to future generations. Indigenous peoples face numerous challenges today, including poverty, discrimination, and environmental degradation. However, they remain resilient and hopeful, and work towards a future where their voices and contributions fully recognized and valued. We must listen to their voices and perspectives to truly understand the untold story of the indigenous peoples of the Americas. It is essential to recognize the diversity and richness of their cultures, and to acknowledge the ongoing impacts of colonization and oppression. One important aspect of this history is the ongoing struggle for land and resource rights. Indigenous peoples have been fighting for decades for their right to self-determination and control over their ancestral lands. Oil and gas extraction, logging, and mining can devastate indigenous communities and the environment. Another important issue is the ongoing legacy of residential schools in Canada and the United States, where indigenous children were forcibly taken from their families and sent to boarding schools to be assimilated into Euro-American culture. These schools were part of a broader effort to eradicate indigenous languages, cultures, and traditions, and have had long-lasting impacts on indigenous communities and families. Despite these challenges, indigenous peoples are actively working towards a brighter future. They are leading the fight against climate change, working to protect and preserve their traditional lands and territories. They are revitalizing their languages and cultures, and using traditional knowledge and practices to build sustainable communities. They are also advocating for their rights and recognition on the international stage, and working to ensure their voices are heard and respected. As we continue to learn about the untold story of the indigenous peoples of the Americas, it is important to recognize our own complicity in the ongoing impacts of colonization and oppression. We must work to support indigenous peoples in their struggles for justice and equality, and to learn from their rich and diverse cultures and histories. So, what can we do to support indigenous communities and promote social justice? How can we ensure that their voices are heard and their rights respected? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Untold Pioneers for more videos like this one. Thank you for watching.